For myself, I'm not mad at Emerald Fennell and her adaptation of Wuthering Heights. I'm mad because my view is this. A majority of humans on this planet once believed in a geocentric universe and that the Earth was orbited by the sun. We now know it's the other way around as a species, and all the people who once rallied behind the idea that of geocentrism are now left eating crow in the modern world. Now, there are some people who will never let go of that belief, no matter how much evidence mounts for heliocentrism. But the question is now settled science. We live in a heliocentric universe. There's no real dispute among the only voices that actually matter in the crowd among the scientists. We now know this. This has been established. So, a majority of humans once thought that the Earth, that the sun revolved around the Earth. We were just as wrong back then as we were about the idea that Wuthering Heights, the novels, were ever any good to begin with. As far as everything I want to say about why these books suck, they had a majority, almost the entire cast of the books is unlikable because of the complete imbalance and the lack of likable characters in the book. You will find ultimately that you will never get comeuppance for anybody that isn't toxic at the end of the day. You will never get an experience like, the Commander Lawrence being, handed over to, June's character in, The Handmaid's Tale and everything, where somebody that is unlikable gets killed by somebody that is likable. You will never get comeuppance for somebody that is likable in Bronte's trashy book. So if you do like gothic romances, this is a terrible one because you're not going to get good likable characters getting their comeuppance at all. That's completely absent from this book as well. So it fails on that standard metric as well. In addition, Heathcliff is a monstrous, abusive asshole to Catherine, the person that he supposedly loves. It doesn't really seem like there's any love to their love relationship. It just seems like fixation and obsession at the end of the day. He digs up his corpse, which is creepy and everything, and he leaves town, ditches town, gets rich, comes back, buys up all the land and everything in Wuthering Heights, and then, basically torments all the people, the descendants of all the people who, tormented him as a kid. This is he's not even getting direct revenge against the very people who slighted him in the first place. No, there's none of that. Also, personally, I've been bullied, harassed, picked on, and disparaged my entire life, so why would I need to read a story about people being vile, awful, and terrible, because I've already experienced so much of that over my entire life that I don't need it. I don't need an experience of it from fiction because I've experienced it firsthand. So I know how vile and terrible people can be. I don't need this from Wuthering Heights. I've already been through it, so the literary world has nothing to offer me in that regard that I value at all. It's worthless to me. So, just saying, I would get nothing of value or virtue out of reading it at all. It would not be enjoyable, and I would not get anything of virtue out of it. So, I must say that in my view, the novels have always been low quality gutter trash, and if you like it, you have bad taste in literature, and I know that because you like it. We are just as wrong today in the year of 2026 about Wuthering Heights having ever been quality writing or any good as we once were in, the 1700s about geocentrism and the idea that the sun revolved around the earth. It was never any good. Furthermore, it doesn't matter how many people like this book or disagree with my point of view, because that would be an appeal to popularity, which is also a logical fallacy. Argumentatum ad populum. It may be a popular view, but that popular view is misguided and inaccurate. It is errant. It is a warped perspective on the books, and it is incorrect. These were always bad books.